Is the magic of Disney starting to fade? Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the storm of controversy that's been swirling around Disney's latest project, the remake of the classic Snow White.
That it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that
She's
is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be.
Just last week, the new teaser for Snow White dropped, and it was met with a tidal wave of backlash. With a staggering 850,000 dislikes and climbing, this trailer might just go down in history, not for its enchantment, but for sparking outrage. What exactly went wrong with a film that aimed to celebrate one of Disney's most cherished fairy tales? Was it the drastic change from lovable dwarves to controversial CGI creatures? Or maybe the casting decisions that have fans and critics alike scratching their heads? Today, we're going to peel back the layers of this unfolding drama, from radical character redesigns and casting controversies to the overarching question: has Disney lost touch with its audience? Stay tuned as we unpack how Disney's bold move to modernize Snow White has turned into a perplexing puzzle, leaving many to question the future of a studio that once defined the gold standard of storytelling.
7 dwarves living in a cave. What the f are you doing, man?
Peter Dinklage isn't feeling Disney's upcoming live-action remake of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
There's a lot of hypocrisy going on, I gotta say.
Now, let's rewind a bit. When Disney first announced they were bringing Snow White to life once again, the news stirred up a mix of excitement and nostalgia. The original Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs wasn't just a movie, it was a milestone in cinematic history, beloved by generations. The anticipation was palpable. Fans were eager to see how Disney would translate such an iconic story into the modern age. Expectations were high, and so were the stakes. Then came the teaser drop. The reaction? Catastrophic. Within hours, the teaser was flooded with dislikes, 850,000 and counting, a number that starkly contrasted the 70,000 likes it scraped together. Social media exploded, and the sentiment was overwhelmingly negative.
Everyone's favorite woke actress, Rachel Zegler, who's appearing in Snow White, has just shouted out something about free Palestine or whatever, and so now they're worried that people are going to boycott Snow White, and they probably will. This is what you get. You reap what you have sown. Rest in all that you have created. For when you lie with dogs, you get fleas.
Critics and fans alike slammed the teaser for its portrayal of what many felt were lifeless, CGI-filled scenes that lacked the warmth and charm of the original tale. The drastic shift from the beloved dwarves to the new, magical creatures sparked a particularly fierce debate. It wasn't just about the visual changes. The essence of the story appeared altered, leaving many to question, what was Disney trying to achieve with these modifications? Was this really the Snow White they grew up loving? As the initial shock settled, the larger question loomed. How could a studio with Disney's storytelling pedigree misjudge their audience's expectations so severely? What were the decisions leading up to this moment? And more importantly, what would be their next move in the face of such backlash? Let's delve deeper into the controversies that arose from these changes and the broader implications they hold for Disney's approach to its classic tales. With the initial shock of the teaser's reception fading, it's time to zero in on the heart of the controversy: the changes Disney made to this beloved classic. What were these alterations, and why have they sparked such a fierce debate among fans and critics alike? One of the most contentious changes was the replacement of the traditional dwarves with a group of magical, diverse creatures. This decision, meant to sidestep potential stereotypes and outdated depictions, backfired spectacularly. Members of the dwarfism community and advocates for more inclusive representation in media expressed their dismay. They argued that replacing the dwarves with CGI creatures removed meaningful opportunities for actors with dwarfism, turning what could have been a progressive move into a step backward. The use of heavy CGI to create these new characters also drew criticism. Fans and critics questioned the authenticity of these creations, pointing out that they lacked the charm and emotional resonance of the original animated characters. The visual shift wasn't the only issue. The overall tone and spirit of the story seemed altered. Critics claimed that the new characters and the revamped narrative stripped away the simplicity and heartfelt emotion that had made Snow White a timeless story. Amidst this turmoil, the question remains: did Disney underestimate the attachment its audience had to the original characters and story? Or was this a calculated risk as part of a larger strategy to redefine what fairy tales look like in the 21st century?
I know that you've told me before that your version of Snow White is different and it's more of a 2022 version of Snow White. What did you mean by that?
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
As we continue, we'll explore how these changes fit into Disney's broader strategy and the implications they have for the studio's future projects. But first, let's look at how the casting decisions and public statements from the stars further fueled the fire of controversy. While the changes to the story and characters stirred significant controversy, the casting choices brought their own share of drama to the unfolding saga of Disney's Snow White remake. Rachel Zegler, cast as Snow White, was initially met with cautious optimism. Her previous performances hinted at a promising fit for this iconic role. However, the atmosphere shifted when she publicly critiqued the original 1937 film, calling it extremely dated and criticizing its portrayal of romance. Fans were quick to express their disappointment. Many felt that criticizing the foundation of the character you are set to embody might alienate the very audience you hope to captivate. Adding to the casting controversy, the decision to cast Gal Gadot as the evil queen sparked mixed reactions. While Gadot's star power was undeniable, some fans questioned whether her previous heroic roles made her a fit for this iconic villain. The dynamic between the cast members also drew public interest. Behind the scenes, rumors of tension began to surface, adding a layer of off-screen drama that fans speculated could affect the on-screen chemistry. In a production already under scrutiny for its creative choices, every statement and casting decision was magnified, scrutinized, and debated by a global audience. These casting decisions and the subsequent reactions highlight the delicate balance studios must navigate in remaking beloved classics. They must honor the original while bringing something new to the table, a task proving increasingly challenging in today's complex cultural landscape. As the backlash against the Snow White remake grew, Disney found itself in a precarious position. The criticism wasn't just loud, it was becoming a significant PR crisis. Let's see how the studio tried to manage the storm of negative reactions. In response to the fierce criticism over the CGI characters and the departure from the original dwarves, Disney attempted to clarify their intentions. They stated that their goal was to create a more inclusive and diverse representation within the film. However, this response seemed to miss the core issue that fans were upset about: the loss of authentic storytelling and emotional connection. As part of their damage control, Disney also pushed forward with promotional interviews featuring the cast. Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot were seen praising the new direction of the film, attempting to shift the narrative towards a more positive light. But for many fans, the damage was already too deep. Critics argued that these efforts felt disingenuous, coming off more as a marketing strategy rather than a genuine attempt to address the concerns of the audience. The initial missteps in handling the backlash only fueled more skepticism and mistrust among the viewers. Disney's strategy also included highlighting the technological advancements in CGI used in the film, aiming to dazzle with visuals to detract from the narrative and character controversies. Yet, this approach seemed to backfire, as it reminded fans of what many felt was a soulless departure from the beloved hand-drawn charm of the original animation. As the release date drew closer, the studio's attempts at rebranding the narrative of the film appeared increasingly desperate. The emphasis on modernization and technological prowess couldn't mask the growing discontent among fans who felt that the essence of Snow White was being lost. As we've seen, Disney's handling of the Snow White remake has not only stirred significant controversy, but has also highlighted a pivotal moment in the studio's approach to storytelling. Now, let's discuss how this incident might signal a broader shift in Disney's strategy and what implications this could have for its future. In recent years, Disney has embarked on a path of reimagining its classic tales, often infusing modern sensibilities and technologies into these beloved stories. While this strategy aims to appeal to a new generation, the reception has been mixed. The backlash against the Snow White remake is not an isolated incident. It reflects growing viewer fatigue with remakes that many feel lack the heart and soul of the original animations. Critics argue that in its quest to modernize modernize and monetize its classics, Disney risks diluting what made these stories magical in the first place. Furthermore, the controversies highlight a growing disconnect between Disney's corporate strategies and the expectations of its traditional fan base. The studio's focus on visual spectacle and political correctness has, at times, overshadowed the narrative depth and character development that once defined its films. This shift raises important questions about the future of storytelling at Disney. Will the studio reconsider its approach in light of the backlash, or will it continue down this path, potentially at the cost of alienating more of its loyal fans? However, it's not all doom and gloom. This controversy could serve as a wake-up call for Disney. It presents an opportunity for the studio to re-evaluate and perhaps rediscover the core values that made it a beacon of magical storytelling for nearly a century. What do you think Disney should do next? Should they return to their roots, or continue redefining their classics for modern audiences? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell for more thoughtful analyses on your favorite films. As we've seen today, Disney's latest foray into reimagining Snow White has stirred up a storm that resonates far beyond just one film. It's a reflection of a larger narrative playing out within the entertainment giant, one that questions the balance between innovation and tradition. This remake has become a flashpoint for debates on several fronts, from the use of CGI replacing human characters to the implications of modernizing characters and stories in ways that may stray too far from their origins. Each choice made by Disney in this process has not only affected perceptions of this single film, but has also contributed to an ongoing dialogue about what the future holds for classic storytelling. What this situation highlights is the delicate dance between respecting the past and embracing the future. As Disney continues to adapt its vast library of classics, the reactions to each project offer valuable lessons on audience expectations and the essential elements that make these stories resonate across generations. Whether Snow White's latest adaptation will tarnish or enhance Disney's storied reputation remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: the conversation it has ignited about creativity, nostalgia, and the essence of storytelling in modern cinema is one that will continue to echo. So, what do you think makes a Disney story magical? Is it the faithful adherence to the classics, or the bold reimagining for a new generation? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm eager to read what you have to say. Thanks for watching. For more insights into the latest developments in film and entertainment, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Until next time, keep the magic alive.